This is Bishop George Johnson with your midday motivation. Happy Friday to you. This is another opportunity to live your dream and to step into your purpose. Guys, I'm so excited. It's the weekend. I remember when I was young, we used to say at this job I had, it's the weekend, baby. Everybody used to say that, man. We used to get so excited because it was the weekend, it was payday, and it was time to go enjoy ourselves. We're still in Mark chapter 2. I'm telling you guys, it's some nuggets here we can learn from this paralyzed man. I want to encourage you this weekend, take some time to read Mark chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. Mark chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. A story of a paralyzed man who had one goal, one vision, one dream in life, and that was to walk. They assemble a team of 5, 4 and himself, and they begin to journey to where Jesus is located. When they get there, they can't get near Jesus because there's a crowd on the inside of the house and there's a crowd to capacity on the outside of the house. This paralyzed man and his team come up with a new way to go inside of the house, and that's through the roof. They lift the man on top of the roof and they begin to tear a hole in the roof. As I was preparing for this midday motivation, I asked God, I said, how in the world did they dig a hole in the roof of Jesus' house with no hammer, no jackhammer, no tools, no sledgehammers? They had no tools. How did they dig a hole in the house of Jesus? And number 2, how did they dig a hole large enough to lower a man on a stretcher through the top of that roof? They had 4 things. The only thing they had was their passion, their hands, their fist, and their feet. That's it. Their passion, their hands, their fist, and their feet. They began to pound the roof, tear it apart until they made a hole large enough to lower Jesus in the room. Lower the man, the paralyzed man, in the room in front of Jesus. Here's the most important part. And as I was preparing for this, and I want you to get this, and I want you to reflect over this weekend. Here's the most important thing I want you to get is this right here. I asked the Lord, I said, how in the world did they do that? And then verse number 4 was the answer. And this is the key to answering your dream, your goal, your vision, that thing that you're believing for. Look at Mark chapter 2, verse number 4. Listen what it says. It says, and when they had broken through. You got to get that. And when they had broken through. Can you see them on the roof of the house of Jesus? They're pounding the roof. They have no hammer. They have no sledgehammer. They have no tools. All they have is their passion. All they have is their hands. All they have is their feet. All they have is their fist. And they're stomping and they're pounding. They're hitting the roof of this house to tear a hole in it big enough to lower this man down. Their hands are probably bloody, but they don't allow that to stop them. They keep on pounding. They keep on pounding. They keep on ripping the roof apart until they build a hole large enough to lower this man down. They kept on pounding and pounding and pounding in the roof of this house until the hole opened up. Let me ask you a question. Are you willing to keep on pounding until your dream happens? Are you willing to keep on clawing and scraping and stomping? I know the doctor told you that there's no hope, but are you willing to keep on pounding with every part of faith that you have? I know that man that walked out on you and you feel unlovable, but are you willing to keep on pounding and keep on fighting for the relationship? I know the teacher told you that that child would never learn. I know the teacher told you to just throw up your hands and give up on that child, but let me ask you a question. Are you willing to pound and keep on fighting and keep on stomping and keep on clawing until you open it up so that your dream will live, so that your vision will happen? I know folks that walked out on you. I know people that gave up on you. But let me ask you a question. Are you willing to keep on pounding? Are you willing to keep on hitting? Are you willing to keep on scratching with every fiber of your being until what you're believing for happen? That's what they did. No tools, no hammer, no sledgehammer, no jackhammer, nothing. All they had was their hands, their fist, their feet, their passion, and they kept on pounding and ripping and clawing away until they opened a hole large enough to lower that man down. I know it's been challenging. I know it's been difficult. I know you faced some no's. I know you faced some rejections. I know some people have walked out on you. They did it to me. People walked out on me and my wife left us. We had a tornado, took away our building. We had nothing. We would stand up and I would preach to a room of empty people. Nobody was there. My wife would get up and do praise and worship in a room full of empty people. But I kept on pounding. I kept on clawing. I kept on ripping. I kept on biting. I kept on stomping. I kept on pushing until the dream happened. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to keep on pounding? Keep on fighting. I know it's challenging. I know it's hard. I know you're bleeding with emotions, but now it's time to get aside and get away from your emotions and fight with every fiber of your being. Keep on pounding. You're closer than you think.